Bola, my friend, I will spare you, but you will never be able to speak or see again until the day you die. If you try to write down any of what you have witnessed or heard today, I will come for you and your family. Lara said. In a village called Osa, there lived a beautiful girl named Lara. Lara was the definition of beauty and brains, a fast learner who could do several things like sewing, making hair, crafting local beads, and even work on the farm. She learned these skills after her secondary education, when she had to stay home because there was no money to further her education. She was the only child, and her parents died on the farm shortly after she finished secondary school. Because of her parents' death, her relatives in the villages pitied her and made sure she never lacked anything, from clothes to food. Her relatives took her in, but she insisted she didn't want to abandon her parents' house and leave it empty. After much deliberation, it was decided that she would stay in the house on weekdays but spend weekends with her uncle Kunle and his wife, who lived not far away. One day, Bola, the best friend of Lara, was sent by her mother to deliver plantain to their customer. When Bola got to the customer's house, she quickly delivered the plantain and headed back home. But on her way, it started to rain, and she was without an umbrella, so she ran towards Lara's house because it was not far from where she was at that moment. However, she got the shock of her life. Lara had just finished making clothes for a customer when it suddenly became chilly in her room, and a very tall man with a scary face appeared. Lara wasn't shocked because it was time for him to show up. He was her lord, and he had come to give her the next mission. My daughter, the one who is my eyes and ears in the land of Osa. Yes, my lord, I greet you, Lara replied. I have a new task for you. You have proven to be very loyal to our kingdom, and after this task, you will be given the authority to command other of my subjects, and your wealth will increase too. Lara smiled but kept quiet. It's approaching the middle of the year, and I want blood from Osa land to flourish our kingdom. I want 3 children below 5 years, 1 male and 1 female above age 20. This should be achieved before June ends. Even though you did a great job last time, I don't want any delay like when you brought your parents. Lara replied saying, Yes, my lord, consider it done. I promise not to cause any delay. As for my parents, they were just too stubborn to allow me to follow them to the farm that day. Only for them to postpone going to the farm until the next day. I had to follow them the next day quietly and waited for them to pass through the junction where 3 roads meet. Then I said the words of death while mentioning their names, and immediately they got to the farm, they fell down and died. I will watch over you from afar, my beloved one, Lord Odi, I said, and then he left with the wind. Bola, who was hiding behind Lara's room door, was shocked to hear all of this. Even with the rain, they were loud enough for her to hear. Her legs could not move, she was paralyzed with shock and couldn't make a sound. Many memories flashed before her eyes, how they both had plans to leave the village someday and make a better name for themselves. She couldn't believe her friend Lara was a witch who had killed people, including her own parents. Before Lara's parents died, she always felt like she was adopted, or it was as if she was the cause of problems between her parents. They fought over little things and most times blame each other for having just one child. Her mum once called her a witch, that she has decided she doesn't want siblings, that's why she's eating her unborn children. Lara was sick a certain period and almost died. They spent money on her treatment, and shortly after she recovered, her mum had complications with her pregnancy, but there was not enough money for her mum's treatment because they had used most of the money on Lara's illness, and that's how her mum lost the baby. Her mum was unable to conceive ever since she lost the unborn baby, and she never missed an opportunity to blame Lara for it. Lara found herself always alone in her parents' house. The isolation, combined with the problems from her parents, made her vulnerable and desperate for comfort and direction. One night, while Lara was sitting outside her home under the starry sky, she noticed a strange and compelling presence. A cool breeze brushed her face, and she heard a soft whisper calling her name from the shadows. Curious and slightly frightened, she followed the voice into the forest on the outskirts of the village. In the heart of the forest, she encountered a tall, mysterious figure shrouded in darkness. He introduced himself as Lord Odi, a powerful being who had been observing her for some time. He knew about her struggles, her pain, and her loneliness. He offered her something she had longed for: love, respect, and power. At first, Lara was hesitant, but Lord Odi was persuasive. He told her that her parents' neglect would no longer define her. In his kingdom, she would be a queen, revered and wealthy beyond her wildest dreams. All she needed to do was pledge her loyalty to him. To prove his power, Lord Odi showed Lara a glimpse of his kingdom, a majestic and eerie place filled with riches and servants who bowed to her. It was unlike anything she had ever imagined. Overwhelmed by the vision and seduced by the promise of power, Lara agreed to his terms. The initiation took place under a full moon. Lord Odi performed a ritual that bound her to him, granting her the ability to enter his kingdom at night and giving her powers that she could use in the mortal world. Lara felt a surge of energy and a deep connection to Lord Odi, who became her mentor and guide. From that night on, Lara began her dual life, an ordinary girl by day, but at night, she entered Lord Odi's kingdom where she was trained in dark arts and assigned missions to strengthen the kingdom. Her first mission was to bring the blood of her parents, which she completed with cold determination, solidifying her loyalty to Lord Odi. As time went on, Lara became more powerful and respected in Lord Odi's kingdom, but she also grew more distant from the human world. Her beauty and skills made her admired in UCHE, but no one knew the dark path she had taken. Back to present day. Lara decided to check out the clothes she had just made for her customer in the mirror. That's when she saw the reflection of the curtains moving in the mirror and decided to walk towards them. Bola noticed Lara walking towards her and decided to run for her life, not minding the rain. Lara saw that it was Bola when she was about to leave the entrance door. She decided to chase her, and they both ran in the rain. Bola kept screaming for help, but because of the heavy rain, no one heard her cries. Lara suddenly stopped and said some fetish things with Bola's name. All of a sudden, Bola couldn't take another step. Lara caught up to her with an evil smile on her face. Bola was crying and begging, but she couldn't move her legs. "Why did you come at that hour? Now you've seen and heard what you shouldn't have. You're going to be my first sacrifice after all. You just clocked 21, Lara said. Please, my friend, don't kill me. I won't say a word to anyone. In fact, I'll leave this village. I'll go and stay with my mother's elder sister in another village," Bola pleaded. Lara made circles around her and said some incantations. Then she faced Bola, saying, "I will not kill you for old time's sake because you were the only one who truly loved me. Even your parents only started to like me after my parents died. No one in this village cared about me. My parents always fought and neglected me when I complained. Because they couldn't bear another child after me, they blamed me and sometimes said things that hurt my heart. I met the great Lord Odi after my secondary school. He was the first stranger who showed me love apart from you, who has been my friend since childhood. He initiated me and gave me a mansion in his kingdom. I am very rich there, and I go there every night. Bola, my friend, I will spare you, but you will never be able to speak or see again until the day you die. If you try to write down any of what you have witnessed or heard today, I will come for you and your family," Lara said. Lara placed her hand inside her mouth, brought out something, and rubbed it on Bola's eyes and mouth. Her last words were, "Goodbye, my friend. I will be in this village of UCHE, but not as Lara. I will be closer to you than you think, and I'll be watching you. I still have unfinished business in this village." Then she vanished into the air. Bola suddenly felt she could move her legs, but she couldn't see or talk. Yet she remembered everything that had just happened. She fell to the ground, overwhelmed by shock, fear, regret, and many other emotions. After the rain, people started to come out, and a villager saw her, recognized her, and took her home. To this day, Bola's blindness and muteness remain a mystery to everyone in UCHE village, and Lara was never found. But little did they know that Lara still moves among them, but with a different identity.